Hi everyone, Scary House, Cooking Everything Outdoor show. Today we're doing smoked pulled chicken. Yeah, it's one of my faves. Takes a heck of a lot less time than doing pulled pork. Every bit as good. Let me show you how it's done. The Cooking Everything Outdoor show. The Outdoor Cook, Cooking Everything Outdoor show. I hope you try this at home. Smoked pulled chicken. Very, very similar to smoked pulled pork, or just pulled pork, but it's going to take a lot less time. So to get this started and some of the foundation that I'm going to be using, going to be starting my grill. I'm going to be just doing a bed of coals. I'm going to get some of my heat from that. You can ask 100 barbecue people, you're going to get 101 answers on how to do this. You got to find your own method, your own style. I don't believe there's any one perfect right way of doing this. You can start yours out with a live wood fire. If you have the wood to do that, that's entirely up to you. It's a little easier for me to prep it with charcoal, get a good base on there. And then what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be smoking with almond wood. Around here where I live, almond wood is readily available. I have access to quite a good supply of this. I like the smell of almond wood. It's kind of a sweet, it's almost fruity. I mean, really, it's a fruit wood, but it's a very dense fruit wood. So we're going to be smoking our chicken with almond wood. The other thing to note is that you can do your smoked chicken using either a whole chicken, or if you like just legs or thighs, you can do just that. Here, the Cooking Everything Outdoors household, we eat breast. That's just about everything that we have when we do any of our chicken. So I'm going to do just chicken breast, and I'm going to show you how I prep that. All right, let's take a second to look how we're going to set this up. So my charcoal, got flames coming out of the top. Charcoal on the tops, maybe 3/4 done, which is just where I want it. So it's going to be really hot. Now I need to dump this out. My smokestack's over here. So that means my heat is going to be at this end of the grill. I don't want it across the whole thing because I don't want to cook the chicken with direct heat. I want it indirect, and I'm cooking primarily with smoke. Okay, so I have, I'd say, pretty serious amount of charcoal here. I have maybe 30 briquettes, and I want some high heat right now because it's going to take a little bit to get my wood chunks started. So let's get some of those set on there, and we'll just grab 3 or 4 blocks is all we need to start out with. And it won't take long to get those going. So let's close this up, let it start doing its magic. Want it to be pretty well wide open because I need this to burn down just a little bit. 10-15 minutes, I'm going to have a nice good smoke base. Let's get the chicken going. Let's talk about chicken prep. What I have 6 bone-in, skin-on chicken breasts, roughly 6 pounds of chicken. Really, these are really good sized chickens. I've already washed them, basically, which is rinsing them, and then I've taken some of the excess fat and stuff that's usually on the back side of the chicken. So once that was done, I took them and I patted them dry. Now they're ready for the rub. And I'm just using just a basic barbecue rub. One of my friends that sends me rub all the time. So it's really, really flavorful. And what I want to do is try to work this in all over the chicken. And I also want to get it in under the skin if I can. And in most of the cases, the skin will come up, and I'm going to be able to work the barbecue rub in there just like so. So that will add extra flavor to the chicken, create that flavor profile that we're looking for. And I'm going to get all surfaces of this chicken nice and coated and patted in, rubbed in. Now, it doesn't have to be really heavy. I'm not worried about putting any kind of a binder on it, because it's just this. I'm not looking for a bark, if you will, and you know what bark is that smoked layer that is so prized in barbecue, that is part of the rub and is part of the basting. That's not really a big issue. I'm just looking for some flavor right now. Again, we're keeping it simple. And then I'm going to rip this all apart. And I'm not including the skin in the pulled pork. So that skin's going to be gone when I'm done. And most of it will have shriveled up and be pretty crispy anyway. So let me get all this chicken all rubbed up. And I'll show you what to do next. Just want to give you a quick tip on getting the pocket under the skin. With a chicken breast, for instance, you could go on the back side here, or the top of the breast. What I like to do is reach down towards the actual rib cage and lift up to create a pocket. And I'll get my fingers in under there, create a nice little pocket, and that way I can insert and spread around my rub without losing the skin from being attached. So that works really well for me. Hope it works for you. So we have our rub on. As you can see, it's fairly heavily seasoned. It's ready to go. I don't want to leave it outside too long. One of the things you have to be very careful with is sanitation with chicken. Salmonella is nothing to play with. Make sure you're constantly washing your hands. Don't intermix your utensils in any way. Don't wipe chicken off on your towel and then go to use your towel on something else. So always keep that in mind when you're cooking with chicken, and don't leave it out to warm up. That's a bad thing. I put my chicken on cold. So let's get this on the grill. We have our smoke going. You can see we're sitting in our chamber at roughly 250, 275, right around that range. And lifting it up, we've got a nice bit of smoke coming in here, coming up from our almond wood on top of our charcoal. So indirect, heat's here, smoke's here, going out the chimney, going across the food and out. So let's get this on. The chicken closest to the heat is going to cook fastest. So really about halfway through this, I'm going to rotate my chicken. You don't need to flip it or anything else, but just keep in mind it's going to be hotter here than it is over here. Big pieces closer to the heat, smaller pieces further away from the heat. And that's what we're looking at right there. That is ready to go. A couple hours from now, we're looking at pulled pork. No, we're looking at pulled chicken. I would say 6 to 8 hours from now, we'd be looking at pulled pork, but that's not going to be the case. Looking good. We've been smoking for an hour now with our almond wood, maintaining around 250 the whole time. Let's take a look, see where we're at. Oh yeah. So we got some real nice color here. And a ways to go. Wood smoking up really nice. I'm going to take a quick temperature check just to see where we're at. Don't leave home without one of these. So we're at 140. $139, and on the back end here, 142. So we're about 20 degrees from where we want to be. I'm thinking less than an hour. Keep an eye on it, I'll let you know. Well, been smoking for 2 hours. We're trying to hit 160, 165. Let's take a look and see where we're at. I got a good feeling about this. Oh boy, that is the most beautiful color. Let's see here, 165, 168, that's a little overdone. 165, all right, I'm pulling them. They're perfect. Just such a beautiful color. Ones towards the back might be just a hair overdone. Oh, look at the juice coming out of that. I don't want to lose any of that, that's for sure. Okay. Whew. Smoked chicken breast. Next, we're going to let them cool for a few minutes. Then I'm going to start pulling them. The chicken's cooled down. I have some real nice small wheat buns. And actually, I'm going to toast these real quick while the grill's still hot. Entirely optional, of course. And Bailey is just chomping at the bit right here to get some of this. We'll just leave those on for just a couple minutes. Now, we're going to start ripping this apart, and as you can see, it's just this beautiful color. And as we had put our rub underneath the skin, so we certainly have some of that there. And I'm just going to remove this, and you can see how easy this is going to be. You can certainly dig your hands in there if you want. It is still a little hot, but I'm going to get this all pulled off of the bone. And just look at how juicy that is. That is just phenomenal. And tender, smoky, and beautiful. So let me get these taken off the bone. I'll be right back. So what I've done is I've taken all the meat off of the chicken bones, and this is a pretty healthy bowl of 4 of the breasts. I actually set 2 aside that I'm just not going to shred because I think I'm going to have way more than I really need. Kind of wish I had you guys over here to help me eat all this, but as it is, the neighbors are going to get some, and I'm going to freeze some. So really at this point, all we're going to do is just take and rip all this chicken apart. It's really tender, really easy to do. It's just every bit as easy to get in there with your hands if you want, because it's not that hot at this point. So, and we're going to just tear it all apart. Now you may see when you smoke chicken, there's a couple things that you need to know, and that even though it's hit temperature 165 degrees, there may be some pink, especially around the bones. The reason for that is the chickens are, I guess you would just say, processed or raised so rapidly these days that their bones haven't had a chance to mature. So what happens as they cook, they tend to bleed a little marrow, and that will give off a pinkness in there that you may think it's not done, but it is done 100%, and it's safe to eat. You also may find on a longer smoke that you're going to actually have a smoke ring on your chicken. This was only a 2-hour smoke, so it wasn't that long. You could probably do a 3 or 4 hour smoke if you really got your temperature down there, and really took your time doing this. A whole chicken would certainly do that better. But let's just shred all this apart. As soon as I'm done shredding it, we'll sauce them up and we'll serve it. So we're just about done here, and I'm just doing some of the final shredding, and you can just see how easy this comes apart. This is properly cooked chicken. And that is just about the end of it. You want to try some of this, huh? Come over here. Come on, up. There you go. Good girl. What do you think? Okay. I have approval. So, shred it up finely. Now that is only 3 chicken breasts there. There is probably 4 cups of shredded chicken, which is going to do multiple sandwiches. Now you have a couple options at this point. And you can either sauce it now and have it all sauced. I mean, trust me, it's quite flavorful as it is. So I'm thinking that I'm not going to take away too much of that sauce, or too much of that smoke, that flavor. So just taking my wheat bun here. Now traditionally, in some schools of barbecue, there would be a nice heaping of coleslaw on top of this. But I didn't do coleslaw, and I'm focusing on this dish. And we'll do it this way. And there's probably 4 ounces of chicken on each one there. Well, there's one a little toastier than the others. Yep, missed a big piece there. So at this point, we'll add a little Q sauce. Now I've seen pulled chicken where the sauce is thinned down. You could put mustard sauce, vinegar sauce, strictly tomato-based sauce, mayonnaise-based sauce, whatever sauce you like. Fire it up, do it your way. But I just wanted to show you how incredibly easy pulled chicken was. Smoked pulled chicken, a la Cooking Everything Outdoors. Hey, listen, if you like this, get onto iTunes. Give me a review on there. Really need it. Gets me back up on the charts. I want you to visit my sponsors, Camp Chef. Go to campchef.com and outdoorcooking.com. And then also Island Grillstone. You've seen me use it. You gotta love it. Give it a try. Thanks again. We'll see you soon. Scary House, Cooking Everything Outdoors. You gotta try this at home.